This episode of Getting Geeky with Gamer Leaf is brought to you by Casual Game Revolution. Casual Game Insider is the world's premier magazine dedicated to casual board and card games. Now it's in their 6th year, they are an amazing source for reviews, trade shows coverage, and the inside scoop of your favorite publishers. Find out more at casualgamerevolution.com/magazine. Thank you.
Getting Geeky with Gamer Leaf, the podcast in which one man strives to level up his geekhood and helping you do the same, one battle at a time. Now, let's get geeky with Gamer Leaf.
Welcome to Getting Geeky with Gamer Leaf. Tonight we're lucky enough to have on the creator and mastermind behind Mazing, the board game, Clint Amstrup. Is that how you say it?
Yeah, Clint Amstrup. That's right.
And is that correct? Are you both the mastermind and designer behind this game?
Yes, I am.
Cool beans. So just like we just said, you have a new game on Kickstarter, but let's rewind a little bit firsthand. How did you get into tabletop board gaming, Clint?
Yeah, so I kind of made Mazing just for fun. I had a moment of inspiration and went to the dollar store and picked out some checkerboards, and that night I was playing with my wife. But going back farther than that, I just love making things, going into my garage and building things all the time. So I guess I'm a creator at heart.
Cool. How did you get into? Do you play other board games, or how did you get into the tabletop board game hobby?
Yeah, I mean, as a little kid playing board games, growing up, I loved doing that, so kind of had an idea one day of a mixture of these games is amazing, and decided to try it out, and it was a whole lot of fun. So it kind of escalated from there.
Cool. I mean, so in creating Mazing, you said you combined some games, possibly. What games did you combine, or where'd the inspiration come from for those games?
Yeah, so I guess pulls elements from games. If you ever played Blockus or back to just chess, it's a very strategic game where you're building walls to go from one corner of the board to the other and making mazes for all the players without trying to block yourself going across the board. So it's always different every time you play, and you could be right at the end trying to think that you're about to win, and the game could completely change, and you could be the farthest away from winning, which keeps it exciting and new every time. Cool.
And it looks like some of the maze cards, they remind me of Tetris figures.
Yeah, absolutely. Admit I'm a shapes brain. That's kind of why I like building things and doing that. But that was a little bit of the inspiration from Tetris, using those shapes that you put down every time you play on your turn. You put down a shape that's like a Tetris shape, and that makes part of the wall that you're creating for the maze for every player to navigate.
Cool. And you're trying to block the other people? Is that what you said? Instead of trying to get through it yourself?
Yeah, exactly.
Cool beans. So, per se, I know this is a podcast and whatnot, so not how would it look, but per se, me and you sat down to play Mazing. How would it sound? How would the play sound?
The person directly across from you, you could potentially be blocking yourself as well. So you got to think about that ahead of time, and then you have to also take into factor that people could be moving those pieces around, jumping over them. The one major part of the game that makes it all work is that you can't completely block off any player at one time. You have to allow at least one space for them to exit where they are. Otherwise, the game would just end because you'd be blocking them completely and they wouldn't be able to move. So with that, a lot of strategies come into play with that, because you can have a wall all the way down one side of the board where you're allowing a player to go through. And then if you use a buster card, which is one of the action cards, and use that on the other side of the board, then all of a sudden you have two exit routes for that player. So you can block them off on the side of the board that they're on, so they have to go all the way back around. So that's my favorite part of play and strategy of the game, and it keeps it really exciting.
Cool. So during play testing, was there ever anything that you had to scrap of this game because it just wouldn't work?
The major thing I had to play with, and I keep telling people I need a mathematician to make sure that this is going to work, 100,000 times every time you play. But it was really just a ratio thing, playing over and over and over again, making sure that you didn't have too many action cards, so it was too easy. But you also didn't have too many large sizes of walls, so that the whole board gets filled up before you can end the game. So that was the most strategic thing for me to do as a designer, and I think I've narrowed in, and it's perfect.
Cool beans. So let's talk about the part of the game that you're most proud of. What would that be?
So again, I was at a game event last night playing with people I've never talked to or played before, and it's awesome to see it click with people when they're first starting out, kind of laying different pieces on the board. There's not a lot of interaction between the players, but as soon as you get a couple on there and realize how the action cards work and interact, and you see it click, and they say, "Oh, I can do this," and completely change the game. That's like the best feeling. And every time I play, somebody comes up with a new strategy that I've never even thought about, and I designed the game, and that's a lot of fun.
Cool beans. Let's see here. So yes, finding out from other players, that's awesome. So that's great. And do you have any? So depending on how the Kickstarter goes and whatnot, do you have other plans or other games in the making?
Absolutely. So, it'd be great if this is uber successful, and I can keep expanding with it. Quit my day job and go to this full time. I'm having a great time doing it, because what's better than having a job where you get to help people smile and have a good time. But I have actually 3 other games that I'm starting with and thinking about. One is kind of a hybrid between Scrabble and I'm blanking on it right now. It's a dice game where you roll. Oh boy. Oh man, I'm totally blanking on it. You're trying to add up points to make 10,000 points. Are you familiar with that game? Are you familiar with that dice game where you're trying to make 10,000 points? You have 5 dice where you're rolling.
I don't think so. No.
Oh man, I'm totally blanking on it right now. Gosh, well, I guess to describe it in a simple way, it's Scrabble with dice.
Oh, there you go. See.
So yeah, that's been a blast, because my wife is a wordy, and I kind of designed that for her. We have different types of brains, and it's been a lot of fun. It's kind of a grab and go, perfect for weekend gaming if you're going on a weekend trip or something like that.
Cool beans.
Calling that one Grunkle.
You're calling it what?
Grunkle. That's the noise I make when I'm trying to think of complex words.
Oh, yeah. So you said your wife is wordy? She likes words,
Yeah.
or you like words, or who likes words?
My wife does. She was a comm major. That's definitely the opposite of me.
Oh, cool. Yeah, that's kind of reminds me of me and my wife. she's like an author or whatnot, and like I'll read these different books or whatnot, and I'll describe like if it takes me like if I have to go back and read stuff, I'll describe the authors or the the different books as wordy, as being too wordy for me.
Yeah. We're the movie type, right?
There you go. Yeah.
Go watch a movie.
Yeah, I'd seen the movie. Yeah, there you go. Cool beans. So going to movies, do you have a favorite movie that goes along with the book or whatnot?
Gosh, favorite movies right now. Let's see. I'm a sucker for Avengers. Really excited about DC and all the Superman and Justice League movies coming out.
Cool. So Avengers and DC. Let's see here. Yeah, Avengers and DC. Do you have a favorite?
Sorry, favorite what?
Favorite out of the. Do you prefer Avengers or DC?
Oh man, before the Avengers movies, it was definitely DC. But those are just kind of light and fun movies, and obviously those are cool. And DC is having its problems with movie making right now, but I'm keeping my fingers crossed. I'm hoping it's awesome.
Cool. And it sounds like Marvel took over Spider-Man, or are they sharing him, or what's going on with that?
Yeah, Disney bought him.
Oh wow, the whole thing.
At least that's the last I heard. I'm pretty sure.
Oh, cool beans. So who's your favorite superhero then?
Oh man, that's a hard question. Probably Hulk.
Cool. I like him too. I
Strongest
like the
guy on the
old
planet,
one. What's that?
And anywhere, I guess.
Cool beans. So per se, somebody fell asleep while they were driving, and it wouldn't be because of you or your game. It would be because of me, and they're tired of listening to the podcast. But per se, they suddenly have been jolted awake, and now they're listening again. Why should they take a chance on Mazing?
So every time I played, it's different every time, and I'm not just making that up. I designed it. I thought I knew how it was going to work, and people are coming up with new strategies every time, and it keeps it really exciting and fun. It's up to 4 players, so it's perfect for families. Good price. It's on Kickstarter right now for $22. I've seen a lot of games for more than that recently, and I'd love to make it a reality, and love your support.
Cool beans. And it looks like you're pretty close at the time of this recording. You still got like a little bit less than 2 weeks to go, and 7,578 out of $10,000.
Yeah, we're right on track to meet our goal. Obviously, we'd like to reach as many people as possible and get this out there. Got a pretty exciting opportunity today. The manufacturer that I'm working with contacted me and said he played with his team there, and they loved it, and they wanted to do a royalty deal just for their area in China. So it's pretty good feedback that people outside of me that have played without me completely are really enjoying it, and I think it could be a really big game.
Okay, cool. Yeah, it looks pretty fun. Cool. Now, the next part of our podcast is adventures in application acquisition. Is there currently an application that you use a lot of? It doesn't even have to be related to board games. It could be anything. Somebody a while back ago used a travel app. Is there an application you use a lot of that we can talk about for a minute?
Sure. Just like phone apps?
Yes, sir.
Well, right now I'm working with, Kickstarter and designing that whole thing. I've been really involved in different social media platforms that I really haven't used in the past. Starting to get into Instagram and Twitter more, and learning about those spaces. So that's been kind of interesting, fun to do that socially and just as a skill for a job.
Cool beans. So what application do you use a lot of?
Probably the most, just for the Kickstarter that we've been doing, the Kickstarter app, and then also just Facebook.
Cool. So, which app so for the Kickstarter app, what would be one thing that you would do to fix it if you own the rights to it?
Oh, yeah. So one thing that's been a little frustrating is just the sharing ability and looking up the status of my game on the app and finding the dashboard. I don't know if there's something I don't know, but I always have to either use the emails that they send me to get the link to the dashboard unless I'm on my computer. But on my phone, it's been kind of hard to find.
So better
So
search
just making
engine,
that
maybe?
more accessible and easier to follow for people who haven't been on Kickstarter before. This is my first Kickstarter, so it's not like I use it every day. I think that'd be helpful.
Cool. So why'd you go the Kickstarter route?
Yeah, honestly, Kickstarter is a really good opportunity because you get to see if people want your game before or anything really, before you're investing a bunch of time and money in it. I've been working on the game for a year and a half almost, and perfecting it and working with different manufacturers and designers to, make it look good and make sure that it works and functions well. But I also wanted to make sure before I went any farther and really put substantial money into it to purchase the games and things like that, that it looked cool as an idea to people. And that's what's really great about Kickstarter is because even the people that haven't touched it physically can see the video and what's it all about, my story on there, and invest, and if people think it's a cool idea, then it becomes successful, and I think that's a pretty cool way to do things.
Well, there you go, cool beans. So I know you don't want to overpromise and underdeliver, but if somebody were to back Amazing, when should they anticipate getting the game, do you think?
Yeah, it was my biggest dream to try to get this game to people before Christmas. Just with the manufacturing taking about 30 days and delivery to me, about 30 days, and then another 12 days for standard shipping. It's just not a reality. So in January, they can expect receiving it.
Cool beans. Yeah, that's cool. So
yeah, I was hoping people could play with their families and get it out there because I know people are gonna love it, but I missed the mark there just by a little bit.
Well, there you go. Next thing I'll have to start it sooner. So yeah,
exactly. I'm learning.
Cool beans. So minus coming to your hometown to stalk you, how would people go about finding out about you or Amazing?
Oh man, so many ways. Our website is probably the best way because we have all our different links on there. It's www.mazinggame.com. And it's mazing.com, or sorry, game.com. And then our Kickstarter right now, there's 12 days left. We're well on our way to making our goal and making this reality. And then we also have at Amazing Game, I think, maybe Amazing Board Game is our Facebook page. And then we're also on Instagram and Twitter as well.
Cool beans. Yeah, that sounds really cool. So,
.com.
Cool, and I'll make sure I leave all that in the links and whatnot. Let's see here. Is there anything else that people should know about Amazing or why they should take a chance on it besides all the other great games there on the Kickstarters?
Yeah, I mean, ultimately, I'd like this to become successful because people like it, and I know that they do. So a portion of it is investing in me. I'm working a day job right now and doing this at night. As soon as I get home, I'm starting to work on this until I go to bed, and I'm really excited about it. I'd love your support by buying the game, giving any contribution, even just sharing what we're doing, because I'd love to bring this out and make it a thing. And I'm excited to do this podcast with you, so thank you very much.
Cool.
And I think people are really gonna like it, and yeah.
Cool. So are you on any other podcasts or any gamer reviews that we can check out if we want to know more about the game besides just going to the Kickstarter page?
Yeah, I've had a couple people contact me in the last couple days. And there's nothing set in stone yet, so I'll be putting some more information on our Facebook page if you want to follow there on what we've got going on, as well as there's a sign up for our mailing list on our website that we can. We're mailing out, every couple of days what's going on with our Kickstarter, new information. There's also a print and play version that's free on our website if you want to try it out before you contribute. Those are the big things.
Cool. And so, minus the app or whatnot, what's been the hardest part? You said this is your first Kickstarter. What's been the hardest part of the whole kit and caboodle?
Hardest part by far is learning all the things I didn't know. I put an article recently on my LinkedIn and just saying the title of it is, starting a small business is incredibly hard, but totally worth it. And the reasons are I'm learning skills that I didn't have before, like creating a website, working with Kickstarter, working with manufacturers. If for some reason this doesn't work out, which I think it will, I've gained these skills for life, and I wouldn't regret it for a day. I recommend anyone that's aspiring to become their own small business, go for it. If they believe in the product, other people will too. You just got to work hard for it, keep grinding, and find those opportunities. Go to gaming events. I've been to multiple conventions. I'm going to another game event tomorrow. Have people play test. Make sure there's no last minute changes that I need to do before we're printing thousands of games. I highly encourage to go after your dreams and make it a reality.
Cool beans. Now, we don't want to keep you all night, but I really appreciate you coming on Getting Geeky with Gamer Leaf. And like I said, I'll make sure I leave everything in the show notes so people can go check out the game and whatnot on the Kickstarters. I know it's almost ending. So if they're listening, when do they have to back this game until?
So the last day is November 2nd. But November 1st would be the best day if you're waiting to the last minute to do it, because I believe the November 2nd ends at like 12:01 a.m. So you only have a second on the
there
second.
You go. Yeah, you only got a second.
Yeah.
Well, it looks like I got 4 seconds of mine. It says 12:04 a.m. Mountain Standard Time. So yeah, it depends on what zip code you're in, I guess.
Yeah, I guess if you're awake on the second and you submit your your donations right then you're fine. But for everyone listening, it ends on the 1st.
Cool beans. Well, yeah, I really appreciate you coming on Getting Geeky with Gamer Leaf, Clint.
Awesome. Thanks for having me. This has been great.
No problem.
Hello, welcome to Getting Geeky with Gamer Leaf. Today I'm joined by Gamer Leaf and I'm Princess Leaf.
Slow down. What part of the show are we on?
We're on the Kickstarter corner area.
There you go. Yeah, don't need to rush through. Our fans aren't in a hurry. Hopefully they're not in a hurry. So tell us what we're talking about.
But if you are, you can listen to that.
Yeah, what are we talking about today? Wait 1 second. Don't tell them about this one. It's called, wait for it. Let's see if I can find it. Wait for it. Okay, it's called Spacefighter, Fun in Space. Don't you just love that? I love it. One more time. Spacefighter, Fun in Space.
Didn't you notice that the baby is asleep? Probably.
Oh, Little Leaf might be asleep, but that's the coolest 4 minutes of the whole podcast. So make sure you listen to that a couple times. And then let's see. So tell them about that one. What is it called again?
Space Fighters.
Fighting in space. Remember to speak up a little bit so we can make sure we can hear you. Okay, Princess Leaf, your beautiful voice. There you go. So tell us about it.
So this is called Spacefighter, tabletop space fighting game in space. So you can actually play in space, probably.
Yeah, it's a Spacefighter. It's a 2-player space-themed tabletop strategy game. It takes about 30 minutes. Hopefully they'll relaunch if they don't get it. They're at $8,827 out of $35,000 goal. They got 7 days to go at the time of this recording. They end the 5th of November, so hopefully they'll get it.
Can I do a shout out?
To who?
All my fans.
Okay, all of Princess Leaf fans, if you're listening.
And Damian.
This is Princess Leaf, and she's shouting out. And let's see here, and then
Especially
also,
Eric's kids.
Yeah, Eric's kids. Thanks for saying how you like the show. Tell us about that one.
Yay! So this is Adventures in Zombiewood, a fast-paced cooperative
Homage to
the zombie
genre.
Finish your movie, fight the horror, and survive to see your film rating.
And they overfunded, and they got about 2 weeks to go. So back them on the Kickstarter. They end the 11th of November. And then what else do we got?
Can we do this one?
Yeah, talk about this one first, and then we'll go on.
Roadkill Ventress, and he might...
Roadkill Vendetta.
And he might have interviewed this guy.
I don't think so. Tell us about it.
The tabletop game where horsepower meets firepower with rules and models for all new factions, warlords, vehicles, and support units.
You're thinking of Mark McKinnon and Wreck and Ruin fame. That's the guy I interviewed. But tell us about this one. You got
they have only a few dollars.
They have 3,314 out of almost $29,000 goal. They got 7 days to go.
Hopefully they relaunch.
Yeah, hopefully they relaunch. And then we got
Re-Chord is coming soon to Kickstarter.
And we'll leave a link, but there's going to be a link in there to sign up for the email list so you can be notified when it comes to
I'll
Kickstarter.
read to you where you can find it if you're not in a rush.
Go ahead, tell them.
It is www.yankernaagames.com/record/.
Don't worry, we'll put it in the show notes for you, because I didn't understand that either. I can't read it either, so don't ask me to try. And then we also have Space Corridor Battle Terrain.
Hopefully they refund.
Tell us about it. Well, they still have a while to go. Tell us about it.
Bring you an all-plastic Space Corridor
Space Corridor Terrain set.
Ideal
for a vast range of sci-fi 28mm war games. And they got 42 days to go. They end on the, the 10th of December. So you got a while. 3,228 out of $46,000 goal. So check them out on the Kickstarters. And we'll leave a link in the show notes. And I think that's all we got, Princess Leaf, for this episode. Because it's got to go up today. Anything else you want to tell us?
We're going to have a Monday episode. So listen to that. And we'll tell you some things about what we do for Halloween.
I guess we can do that. Okay, so go ahead and sign us off, Princess Leaf, and that's what we're doing right now.
Bye-bye, Gamer Leaf and Princess Leaf out.
Gamer Leaf levels up. Tune in next week to see if Gamer Leaf's luck holds up.